So we're doing our reading drills for today. This is a Bella only project. All of the words are laid down in alphabetical order. She laid the words out, but she can't read them all. So the goal is to take these pictures. She's starting with pig. And what's the first sound you hear in pig?
P.
P. So then look at the words and see what sound you hear. Good. Eh. G. Look at me. The sound is G. Mm-hmm. Eh. P. Good job. Anyway, there's a good example of how this drill works. And go ahead and leave it with the P's. No, leave it with the P's. Okay, so that's how this drill works. So yes, we have lots of words to go. Sadly, some of these only have one of a letter. That's unfortunate. But at least you'll get practice with the sound. You just need to pick up one. Okay, and then over here we have many piles of, let me zoom you out, many piles of pictures, and so the pictures will give her the sounds. So now she's working on fish.
I cannot find the...
It's in alphabetical order, so you can say your alphabet if you don't know.
Yes, I know where I am. Oh, there. Let's see.
Yes, it's f, eh, sh.
What am I feeling? This is the one.
That is the one. So these will help her with phonetics. The pictures will give her the word. Then I'll just make sure she's sounding them out correctly. And then she finds and she puts them up. So I will bring you guys back in a little bit because this would be a very long project. And I'll also show you what we used for all of these puzzle words. Come grab another one. Actually, I'll let you guys see one more because she did so well with the first two. So let's see if she picks a harder one. She's picking one she's comfortable with. As you guys can tell, I'm really in favor of interactive learning. Do we do books? Yes. Do we do books, Bella?
Yes.
We do books. But I also find that this works a lot better.
I feel like D is doing B for job.
For some children. Not every child can just sit and stare at a... Not every child can just sit and stare at a book all day. So I find interactive learning is great. For doll, D. No, it's not. It's, look at me. D. D. So she has a bit of a lisp. And so that's why I'm correcting her phonetics. So she's not, it's not that she doesn't know the letter or anything, because she did go to D. But because she has to learn how to mouth the letters so that they sound correctly, because she has a bit of a lisp.
Mom, what's a lisp?
A lisp is why I have to tell you how to do your tongue. You know how sometimes I'm like, your tongue needs to go like this when you make the sound? So teaching you that is because you have a lisp. So you can see her D comes out like a G sound, so it's D.
G.
No, that's a G. G. It's D.
D.
Good. So I'm just showing her the tongue motion for the D sound. Yes, it's ah. Oh.
I'm feeling it's this.
We'll sound those letters out.
D.
Ah.
Is that your touch sound for this?
G.
D. G. No. Totally did it wrong.
It's okay.
D.
Ah.
Ah.
G. Dog.
Oh, I thought this is dog.
Mm-hmm. But those first two sounds are right.
Try the first. Let's see. Good.
It's D. Tongue to the top of the mouth. Mm-hmm. Ah.
I will do L.
Mm-hmm. Really? D. Ah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so that one was a little harder for her. Mostly because the sounds that she makes are, you can put the words up here. I mean the finished ones up there, like just above the carpet. So obviously they're a little bit harder for her when they have letters that she has trouble pronouncing, so she can identify the letter, but because her tongue action is incorrect, then we correct that, and then when we correct that, then she does a better job with the spelling. So again, this is literally phonetics with consideration of the fact that she has a lisp. So she's going through them again. I don't want them to be all spread out though, because it'll become a mess. So she's picking her next one, and yeah, I'll show you guys.
This is easy.
I'll show you guys one more. She picked one that she can't get wrong because she recognizes the sound.
And there's only one of the letters.
And there's only one of the letters, so she'll go right to it.
That's easy.
There we go. All right, next word.
Now let's see, what's in this box? Ooh, I'll take this one.
And believe it or not, we'll do this over and over and over and over again until it's evident to me that she knows the words by sight.
Now, where is that word?
This is a word she genuinely knows from our book work, because I know some of you are like, when does a book get involved in this? This is a word she knows from our reader, our 1.1 reader. So she knows that as a sight word.
Then I'll just move
She went right to
and I'm
it.
going straight back to the pile.
And you can see this is a lot more fun. If I just tried to have a 7-year-old practice these words out of a book, this is a lot of words. It would never happen. So if you're a mom or a teacher, you know that would never ever happen in one sitting. Because it's interactive, she's not sitting in one place. We'll be able to cover all of these words, and it's a lot of words in one sitting because this is more of a game than anything.
Mom, what is this?
A skeleton? She decided to pass on skeleton, it looks like, because that's a harder word. But obviously she'll have to do it because all the words have to be done. But it's okay for her to start with
I'm going to do
ant. Okay, ant. And I'm just saying the word so that she hears the word, because you can hear all of the letters in ant.
Yep, you have an A and an ant. You don't have to sound that through.
So that's a good word for her to start with. And getting these words correct helps build confidence for the many, many other words. So I'm waiting on Elizabeth to come up. And again, I'm saying them. A, n, t, and.
Oh, that's it.
All right, so I'm slowly sounding them out. Obviously, she has to know the letter sounds, again, because this is phonetics, in order to get the word right, which she did. And obviously, depending on the level your child is on, you may not need to sound out the word so clearly phonetically. But I do, because if I'm sounding out the phonetics and she can make the connection to the word or the most likely word, right? Then that is a good place for us to start.
And Mom, what's my next thing?
X-ray, okay.
That was easy.
All right, I might have you guys force you to watch one more, and then I might revisit you after she makes some progress.
Now, where is that? Let's see. That's D. Okay. So now dog, which I know is a D.
How do you make a D sound? No. See, she's making a T sound for the D, so it's D.
D.
It's okay. Just remember that your tongue touches the top of your mouth. Ah. It's G.
G.
D. Ah. G.
G.
D.
D.
Ah.
Ah.
G. 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 So she makes her G's like a T sound. So I have to get her to self-correct. It is that one. So this is a really good drill for, make sure you put it above doll, the other D word. This is a really good drill if your child does have a speech impediment of some kind. Like I said, Bella has a lisp. So that makes reading a little bit harder because the way she naturally wants to say the sounds is not really the sound. So then if for her G comes out as T, then, you know, that ends up being a problem, obviously, when you need to spell a word like dog. When she's talking, you can understand what she says, and it's just super cute. You know, lisps are very cute, but it can be hindering when you're trying to spell. And so with that in consideration, so I'm pretty happy she's picking frog, because frog is another word that has that G sound in it.
And I'm almost positive
That is a little bit more of a challenge for her.
Where is F?
So she's looking for F. Well, it's in alphabetical order, so you can start on that side.
Oh, better.
Okay.
Well, it starts with a...
It does start with an F. Fr. It's fr.
For...
Ah. Fra. It's G.
G. This is this
Good job. So, again, you're hearing T and D. T and D coming out in place of G. But she self-corrected that time and she found the word frog pretty quickly. So we're just going to go on like this. I'll show you what I'm going to be doing with Elizabeth after she cleans up all of those sewing supplies because she was sewing her little heart away. Looks like Bella had her sewing stuff out too. But essentially,
Anyways,
these are our...
now to do the piles.
Okay,
Oh,
these are going to be our drills. And so, yeah, she's working on her next one. Let me see. What is it? Okay, cow. So her C came out. Her C came out as a T sound, but it's K, K. Yeah. So this is a good opportunity for me too, because as she's saying the words, I'm able to hear how she pronounces the letters, and then I can correct her, and then she can correct herself. So this is a really good drill for that. So,
the letter
K.
cow.
Well, it makes a K sound. Ow. K.
I'm feeling this is going to be with O in it.
It does, but what's the first letter? Find the first letter first. K. There's only 2 letters that make that sound.
That would be F.
No, that's F.
H.
That's H.
Nope, not H. That would be,
This is a great opportunity to see your child's thought process. I said there's only 2 letters that make the K sound, and she gets close with H, but we're looking for K. And I think these are things you have to pay attention to when you're homeschooling. It's this, you know, other letters that make that K sound. You know a word that you know by heart that makes a K sound at the beginning. K.
T.
Not T. K. Now again, do you see her confusing sounds because T and K are very close, especially if you have a lisp. They're very close sounds. So she's getting closer. She was like 8, then she went to T. That's closer. So pay attention to how your kids are processing sounds. You know a word, cat, k, at, and you know that word. And what letter does that sound?
C.
It starts with C. Same sound as in k, ow. K, at, k, owl.
No problem. Now I'll just add to the C and find which one is cow.
So you put them in alphabetical order?
The words aren't in alphabetical order because, for example, leg would come before lungs.
No, I mean the beginning.
Yeah, just that way. But if I were gearing this lesson toward Elizabeth, what I would do is I would have her place the rows in alphabetical order. So this could be used for Elizabeth technically. I would have her put the words in the row in alphabetical order. For Bella, I just had her do, put them in the order of the letter itself.
That would stun me, I'm sure.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
So, k, ow. Bella was saying I helped her, and she's right. I did help her.
No.
K, ow.
It has to be one of these. Because this one doesn't have a thing in it.
Oh, okay. So she's eliminating because this one's an innie and those are outies. So she's like, she knows the innies aren't going to go, so it needs to be one of the outies. But you should hear the sound, k, ow. K, ow.
It has an O.
It does. That's true.
But I have a feeling it might be...
Try it. Cow.
Yep.
That w sound is the W. All right, so I will bring you guys back in a little bit. I'm about to start work with this one right here. She's next. And Bella's going to work on this. Okay, so we are in the middle of a school disaster. We have our boxes over there. So you saw where Bella was before. Some of these rows were pretty long. And now she has done a lot of really good work. These piles are pretty tiny.
Mom, will you help me with this?
Train. It's t.
It'll have to be a C.
It's t.
A S.
It's, don't do that, please. It's t.
T.
Yeah.
Judy!
So again, she had the word train. She thought it was C. She thought it was S because of how she pronounces her T. So after I corrected the sound, she knows that it's a T now. Yeah, we are deep in the school zone. Liz has read her chapter from her physical science textbook, and now she's working on the section questions, and she'll do the chapter review, and then she will do something out of her workbook. Mouse. So she did train while we were talking. M is for mouse, that's correct. So anyway, I'm just showing you guys where we're at right now. I think the girls will probably finish around the same time, which means that we all take a little break. I'll probably have hummus on our break with tea. I don't know what the girls are going to decide to have. Or maybe I'll have chips. I can't decide yet, but yep, that's where we're at. Kite. So she said tight with a T versus K, but that's just because of how she forms her sounds in her mouth. So it's K. And what are the two letters that make the K sound? See if she remembers. She's done a lot of. It's not.
There's C.
There's C, but it's not C. It's a different. What's the other letter that makes the K sound? What is C with sometimes, and together they make the K sound?
It's with
Like with duck.
Let me see.
Yeah. What is C with sometimes that makes the K?
K.
So C and K make that sound. So if it's not C, then that means that kite starts with a what?
K.
A K.
Now if I can just find the K.
So yeah, we'll get back to you guys in a minute because we are doing the most right now. Got sewing stuff, Liz's makeshift station, books that they pulled off of that bookshelf right there. Everything is going on here, but that's okay.